Man, I literally just pulled into my driveway from the movie theater and I had to start recording this explainer immediately. I am still kind of processing what I just watched. If you've ever had a nightmare where you're wandering through an empty building and you just know, deep down, you're not supposed to be there, yeah, they turned that exact feeling into a 2-hour movie. What is up, guys? Welcome back to The Unseen Truth, the only place where we dive deep into the weird, the creepy, and the stuff hiding right under our noses. Today, we are looking at how director Kane Parsons and writer Will Sudeck took a massive internet legend and brought it to the big screen with the Backrooms. It's a fascinating look at taking something born in the depths of YouTube and trying to stretch it into a traditional cinematic format. Now, the big question hanging over this whole thing is, how does an internet legend actually become a movie? It's really interesting to see if a viral YouTube series based on creepy online folklore can sustain a full-blown theatrical experience. Taking someone who totally mastered that short-form found footage format and handing them the keys to a feature-length film, it's a bold move for sure. We need to figure out if the pure atmosphere dread of a short online clip translates into a massive movie without losing its magic.
Just to make sure we're all on the same page, let's quickly define what this place actually is. The movie follows a fairly average guy working a dead-end job who basically clips out of our reality through a freak accident. He stumbles into this malignant dimension that resembles a never-ending, non-functioning retail hell, aesthetically stuck right in the 1990s. Imagine a massive 9-to-5 labyrinth where the architecture makes absolutely zero sense. Honestly, a non-functioning retail hell just sounds like working the holiday season to me. But in all seriousness, it's the ultimate liminal space nightmare. You don't know where it starts, you don't know where it ends, and you definitely don't know how to get out.
There's this one quote from the source review that absolutely hits the nail on the head regarding the terrifying tone of this movie. They said, "It's kind of like how tumors in the body can grow hair and teeth. There's no real function for it, but it can happen." I mean, wow, right? That perfectly describes how this dimension works. It just blindly generates these useless, unsettling objects in rooms with absolutely no logical purpose. It's not some carefully designed trap. It's more like a sickness in reality itself, and the movie absolutely nails that specific feeling.
All right, let's talk about what actually worked here. Because honestly, when this movie hits, it hits hard. The atmosphere is just suffocating, in the best way possible. The set design is intensely claustrophobic and genuinely surreal. And look, we all knew Kane Parsons could do the found footage thing, but seeing those sequences on a massive theater screen, total nightmare fuel. My heart was practically beating out of my chest. On top of that, there's some surprisingly effective dark comedy sprinkled in. Plus, I gotta give massive props to the lead actors. They completely sold that primal panic and really carried the film on their backs.
But you guys know I like to keep it real with you. There is a massive contrast in the pacing that we have to talk about. On one side, you have these incredible found footage scenes. The camcorder-style perspective gives you this intense, real-time claustrophobia that completely locks you in. You are trapped right there with them. But on the flip side, whenever the movie shifts away from that to more traditional, standardly shot scenes, man, it just hits a brick wall. The pacing drags, the dialogue slows down, and all that amazing intrigue just kind of melts away.
And that brings us to the script. While the intentional dark humor is great, there are definitely some unintentional chuckles happening too, mostly because of some seriously clunky dialogue. During these heavy exposition dumps, the script just feels completely cartoonish and unnatural. I mean, nobody talks like that in real life, especially not when they're running for their lives from some interdimensional horror. The actors are out there working way harder than the script is working for them. It pulls you right out of the immersion, which really sucks when the visuals are trying so hard to pull you in.
All of these pacing and script issues really compound into what is probably my biggest gripe with the adaptation: the runtime. 1 hour and 45 minutes. Now sure, that might not sound super long for a normal movie, but for this highly specific concept, it felt like a bloated marathon. It really feels like they stretched what should have been a super tight, terrifying 90-minute concept into nearly 2 hours. The terrifying core of this movie is just buried under all this unnecessary padding. Let's look at how this builds into some massive structural issues. Step 1. They actually do a fantastic job building tension with the main character right out of the gate. But then step 2, they severely drag the pacing right through the middle with those clunky, traditional scenes. And then there's step 3. Oh boy. They tack on this afterthought of a finale featuring a completely different character who we barely even know. It just abruptly sidelines the protagonist we've been following and rooting for the entire time. It's just a really bizarre choice. So, synthesizing all of this into a final verdict, it feels like this adaptation is constantly at war with itself.
On one side, you've got these incredible highlights, that claustrophobic found footage, the solid dark humor, and the great acting. It is a highly effective trap of creeping dread. But then you look at the pitfalls. That amazing experience is heavily weighed down by dragging traditional scenes, cartoonish script moments, a bloated runtime, and that weirdly tacked-on third act. It's brilliant when it leans into its raw YouTube roots, but it definitely stumbles when trying to be a standard Hollywood thriller.
Ultimately, I think this is an experience that's really best for the initiated. If you're already invested in the lore of the Backrooms, if you love analog horror, and you're familiar with the source material, you're going to find a ton to appreciate here. It boasts an absolutely fantastic production look and totally delivers on that specific phobia of liminal spaces. But if someone were to walk into the theater completely blind, not knowing anything about the internet lore, I think those structural flaws and pacing issues might make it a slightly frustrating watch for them.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this question. Is pure creeping dread enough to survive the big screen, or should this nightmare have stayed online? Does expanding a liminal space legend into a full cinematic universe ruin the mystery, or does it just make the nightmare harder to escape? I want to know what you guys think. Have you seen it yet? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I'm going to be reading through all of them tonight. If you like this breakdown, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe to The Unseen Truths so you never miss an explainer. We've got a lot more weird stuff to uncover together. Stay safe out there, don't clip through the floor, and I'll catch you guys next time.